Welcome back, Carters, to August 24th. It is Monday morning, and we had an excellent three-person break last night. We opened up mystery team packs as sold and correlated by Royal Summit Cards. You can find them on eBay, Royal_Summit_Cards. Now, if you haven't seen this video, you need to go back and watch it before today's video because the product is strong for $10. And I went back and bought a bunch more this morning. Quantities are now limited more than they had already been. In fact, Scott was going to be, or is going to be in our next break. Not today's break. Today's a personal break. But Scott, sorry to say, brother, the Twins are totally sold out. No more Minnesota Twins in this incarnation of the mystery team packs. Now, I'm sure I'm not sure, but Royal might put some more together. Royal Summit, that is. They might put more together. We'll have to see. But I know that we've already expanded, and I believe Paul's in, Scott's in, of course, Josh is in, Uncle Papa's in, Jen is in, I'm in. And living in the Bay Area, we did get a San Francisco pack because, well, somebody's going to want to get in. So I think we're going to go from like 3 to 7 breakers in a heartbeat. And I really can't say it enough. The product really helped with that. And so Royal Summit Cards, I really appreciate the work you put in because it was a highly successful, and I really believe that the product helped. Now, today is a review and personal break for yours truly, Ruby. I do have 2 of these hobby boxes. This one's new, and it isn't anything really bad with this box, but it looks a little more rough than the other box. So this is my personal box. I'm going to break this and let you guys have a view of this. And then we're going to put the second box. We're going to break that. I'm going to sell it in quarters. So if you want a half box, you'll buy 2 quarters, quarter, 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 quarter. And if you want the whole box, well then, you'll buy all 4 quarters. But this is a set that I'm excited for. And let's get this up on the table. I got to tell you, I've never opened this many O'pee Chee Premier 91 packs at a time. I've opened a lot of them back in the day. But I probably bought them like 1 or 2 at a time at the store. And I've never had this kind of opportunity to open this many of the O'pee Chee 91 Premier packs. So, what is the deal with these, Ruby? Well, I like these. I believe personally that Topps pushed O'pee Chee to make a card that competed with the newly successful Upper Deck series at the time. I think that it was successful in the execution. I don't know that it was successful in that it caught on. The O'pee Chee name is not a big name in the States. This is mostly Canadian, and if you were to have a lot of O'pee Chees in your collection, you're either probably from Canada or you're probably collecting hockey cards. So, there are some barriers right there that might have kept you from knowing and depressed the value of this set. This set is beautiful. It is limited to 132 cards. And from when I look at it, there's no real big rookie in this set. With all those negative points, I love this set. And we will see, I believe, a higher ratio per team of Expos and Blue Jays in this set than we will see from the American teams. And why shouldn't there be, considering this is a Canadian line of cards? And if you haven't seen the other videos, yes, it will have French translations. So 7 cards, cartes. Baseball cards, cartes de baseball. So let's get into pack number 1. Ruby breaks baseball. If it's not broke, let's break it. I need to get more super rip. I need to get more jabs with this, more fill with this, and get into these packs fast and just get to them. Oh man, these are horribly cut, it looks like on the bottom. I'm not digging that. The top and the sides look all right. I don't remember them being cut that bad. I wonder if you can see that. That edge just does not look good to me. It doesn't look like, I don't think it's box damage. It just doesn't look great. But the card itself, I think the photography could have been a little higher quality, but this card is still beautiful. Look at that, Kurt Kyler. Oh, there's a person you haven't seen in years. Pete Incaglia. I am such a bad pronouncer. Eddie Murray of the Dodgers with a little dot right there. That doesn't look right. This bottom edge is really disturbing me. I might have to, if I have dupes, I might have to pick and choose my cuts for which ones to make the collection. Mike Timlin with the Blue Jays. Let me get that in frame, Ruben, and let's try to see if we can work on that shadow right there. Don't like that harsh shadow. There, it's a little better. The shadow's a little lower. Mike Timlin. There is the Padres, Tony Fernandez. Digging that. Whoops. Before we get to that, Greg Olson, we have a 91. They're all 91, Ruben. 91 O'pee Chee Premier, Doc Gooden. He is a Lancier. Doc Gooden, Lancier. And Greg Olson, father of the Olsen twins, I do believe. He said in jest. All right. I was not impressed with the cuts on the bottom of those cards. The whole pack seemed to have an issue with that. Let's look at this next pack. Right off the bat, it looks better. This is what I want. I'm actually going to set all of these cards aside for a second, because I don't want these mixing with these cards that look like they're cut way better. I can't tell you what happened with that pack there, that first pack. And then we have the Cardinal, Bernard Gilkey. Cubs pitcher, Danny Jackson. Hey, there's old Dave Winfield. Look at that. Nice. O'pee Chee Premier. The Lino Shields. Isn't his son in the league right now? I believe so. That's cool. And that's an expo. I'm digging that. Kevin Mitchell. Hey, from when, back in the day when we liked the Giants, but they didn't like their park. Dave Parker. Classic, dude. Classic Dave Parker. Number 39 on the Angels. Ivan Calderon with the now defunct, or I guess not defunct because technically the world champions, Nationals, Washington Nationals. That was cut way better. The cards were way better in that pack. And that is horrible. Oh man, this Steve card is not. Look at that. That is fresh, pack fresh, people. That's going in the other pile, and I am not liking I'm not digging these cuts either. They don't look, they look jagged. I'm not happy with that part of the aspect of this. This is 2 out of 3 packs that have this this issue. Okay, so these are going to go into the defective pile, but Juan Gonzalez, Hensley Mullins with the Yankees, another Kevin Mass with the Yanks, the Bronx Bombers. I think I just came up with that. There was no way that someone said that before me. I just came up with that. The Bronx Bombers. Terry Shumpert. And these are cut really bad on the bottom. This would be an excellent card had the cut been nice. This is a Will Clark. A lot of us would be happy with this card, but there's just no... I mean, I'm going to be very honest, this isn't a very high price set, so any damaged cards are basically worthless at this point. Really disappointed in that Will Smith. If this is becomes a problem, folks, I will not sell the other hobby box. I don't want to send you out bad product. So I didn't ever think that the cuts were a problem on this card before, but now I'm a little worried. Here's our Wade Taylor, and I'm putting him, despite coming from that pack, I'm putting him in the defective pile. Okay, in baseball terms, we're actually doing great. 2 out of 3 is really great if it's your batting average. I think for collecting cards, not so hot. So once again, we're going to illustrate how difficult it is to play baseball if 2 out of 3 is a good score. Now here we go. These cards look cut nicely. The bottoms aren't ragged, and we have a Denny Martinez Expo card here. A Gary Gaetti, third base from the Angels, Gaetti. George Bell from the Cubs. They have those nice sleeve patches on those Cub uniforms right there. Herbie Brooks. There's a classic name. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to him. There's a Tim Wallach, Expo third baseman. And there we go. Another good, cool outfielder for the Giants, Willie McGee. He is local where we live, and one of my buddies and a guy I work with on the side sometimes ran into him in either Martinez or Vallejo, and he loves getting recognized apparently, and we'll talk baseball if you stop him. And so yeah, Willie McGee. Oh, there we go. Joe Carter, Blue Jays. And maybe from where it was in the pack, it's got the littlest nick right here. I'm going to put it in my defective pile. If I don't pull another good-looking Joe Carter, I'm going to grab it and put it in my stack. So we're 500 again. Half and half. If you're concerned, I understand. I can feel you there. I'm not 100% as stoked as when I started. We have, looks like we have some, these are good cut. And we're going to start seeing our first couple of repeats. We have that Alex Trammell. Tigers, Brian Barnes, Expos. Steve Bedrosian, Twins Lancier. If we get another one of those, Joshua, I'll send that your way. There's the Juan Gonzalez that is in better shape than the first one. It looks like a repeat pack to me almost. We're starting this 4 packs in, 5 packs in, and we're seeing names over. It is a small set, but I guess this will be better if we break it up over multiple people. Hensley Mullins again, Yankees. Kevin Mass. It looks like to be a collation situation here where the cards are collated the same. And the Terry Shumpert. Shumpert. All right, pack 6, and we are now 4 out of 6. So we're starting to have a good ratio here. You could argue that that we shouldn't have that many bad cuts in the first place, and I wouldn't disagree. And I don't like the cuts on this either. I don't. And there's another Bernie Williams, and I don't know where these fell on the card. If this is the bottom of the sheet, and this is why they're collated this way, because we're going to see all the same people again. There's the Bernie Williams. Oh wait, there's an Eric Davis that we didn't have, but the bottom just isn't cut well. Dennis Bouchier. There's the Paul Molitor that we would have wanted, but that it's not clean on the bottom. Todd Hundley, not clean. Alex Trammell, not clean. That's going in my defective pile, and I'm going to stop counting the defective packs. This is a disaster. Folks, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. Okay, let's hope that when we get our Nolan Ryan, our Ken Griffey Jr., and our Frank Thomas, let's just send Ruby some love here, folks. Let's help Ruby out. We don't want these bad cuts when it comes to some of those stars. All right, this set looks good. We got the Kelly Gruber from Toronto. There we go, the Glenn Davis. If you watched the preview, I did, not the preview, but the Fear-Filled Mystery Box repack. We hit the Glenn Davis, but I think this is probably a better Glenn Davis because that one did have a little problem because the pack had been stuffed in. We got the Cal Ripken that I like there. The Ken Daly from the Blue Jays. Oh yeah, Ruben Sierra. Fan favorite. Maybe not the biggest star of all time, but definitely a fan favorite. Ruben Sierra. Darryl Strawberry. And thank goodness it's cut well. There's Strawberry and Carlton Fisk. And I'm noticing that the last card in all the packs seem to have this little notch right here. We're going to call that a packaging problem, and that's going into the other pile. And of course, if I don't pull a better Carlton Fisk, it'll go into my set for the time being until I find something better. All right, moving on. Folks, thank you for joining me. Let me know how disappointed you are in these cuts. This pack is just as bad as the other packs with the problems. So let's see who we lost. We lost an Alex Fernandez, a Dwight Evans, a Jack Morris, a Sean Dunston, Ken Griffey Jr. with the bad cut. Ruby's feelings are hurt. I'm talking about myself in third person, and my feelings are hurt. Sandy Alomar, Jose Offerman. Oh, man, that hurts. That hurts. Now, folks, I did pull a good Ken Griffey Jr. from the pack, from the Fairfield, so I'm not missing out 100% on the Ken Griffey Jr., but honestly, that does hurt. That hurts me right there. And if we pull a Nolan Ryan and a Frank Thomas like that, it's going to hurt Ruby a lot more. Okay. It looks like we have nice, clean bottoms here. It looks like the cutting is pristine. We got that Milwaukee's Best. That would be a beer commercial, I think. Robin Yount. Fed McGriff. Look at the crime dog. Looking good, crime dog. Mike Broderick from the Royals. That is a nice looking card, actually. Good pose. Off-centered image. The 2/3. I like it. That's nice. Not the card isn't off-centered, but the way they framed him was nice. Howard Farmer from the Expos. Jimmy Key from Toronto. There we go, folks. Cheater galore, but oh so talented. Barry Bonds. You love to hate him. You hate that you love him. Oh, and it is not well centered. It's just not well centered. There's too much border over on this side. This card is not well centered. I'm going to put it in the bad pile for now and hope that I pull a second Barry Bonds that looks better. Okay, I'm going to stick it in my pile, but I just hope I pull a better Barry Bonds. I really do. I don't think this video is helping this set out much, guys. I love it, but it looks like I'm going to have to work to put my set together to have a nice set. And I don't want that for you guys. So we might be done. Oh, look at this. This is like somebody cut this with a freaking hacksaw. Oh. And there's a Pedro Guerrero on the bottom. I'm so... Oh man, I can't stop the video, folks. We gotta film through the good and the bad. This is what the industry is. If you're collecting older packs, you might have to expect this from time to time. This is the buyer beware, and let's let this be a lesson to all of us. Of course, we're still having, this doesn't look like a cut error as much as a packing issue with that Terry Pendleton from the Braves. That is a horrible loss to me. Dave Smith, he used to pitch on the Astros. That's a horrible loss to me. The Scott Sanders, I'm not so worried about. Lance Dickerson. And there's the Gary Carter. Actually, the Gary Carter looks fairly good. Oh, it's got some cut issues on the left side going into the reject pile. There's that Ryan Sandberg and Pedro Guerrero. And my disappointment level is so high. In fact, it looks like, comparatively, my good pile is actually smaller, or about, yeah, that's smaller. Let's use the King Griffey as the, yeah, King Griffey's leaning towards his head, folks. All right, we're going on because you guys need to know what you're getting into. This is what we need to know. This is what we need to know. When I get off this video, I will try to see if I can find some research if this was a problem for this set. But remember, a 1991 set in the internet age doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be information, a lot of information on this set. And these do look like these are all cut strongly favoring short on the left, long on the right. These are not well centered. These are going to go into the reject pile. If I need any of these cards to complete my set, I will pull them, but I'm not happy with these and it looks like there's some packing issue here with this corner. All right, so Chris Hollis. Of course, our Don Mattingly is off-centered, and our Will Frazier. Benito Santiago. Is that Benito or is that Benny? Is Benito Benny? No, Benito came along long later, right? Or is that the same Benito? That looks like a job for Baseball Reference. Alex Cole. Of course, our George Brett is a reject, and our Brett Butler. Guys, can you feel my spirits crashing over here? Can you feel me coming down in energy? I came into San Francisco early to film this, to get this done. And my heart is breaking. This Glenn Davis has the packing damage. This Cal Ripken is better than the previous, but it is still off center. And then the rest of these have that cut problem on the bottom. There's our Ken Daly, our Ruben Sierra, Darryl Strawberry, Carlton Fisk, Danny Martinez, and my energy is just being sucked out, and I am not good enough of an actor to keep the energy going and to fake my way through this. In fact, even if I were, that would be disingenuous. Alright, so these are actually not horrible. We got the Jack Clark, Danny Darwin, Bobby Thigpen. There's the John Oderloo, but if we look, this is a card we would want too. If we look, not only is it severely off center, we have a bad cut on the left side. Off centered, but cut well. The Eck is cut off center and it has two bad cut lines on the left and the right. There's our Ricky Henderson. $939 stolen base. 939 stolen base. Ricky Henderson, May 1st, 1991. I hope we find a slightly better card for that, because that card isn't horrible, but it's not great. It is off-centered and has some other light issues. Shake it off, Ruby. Shake it off. I gotta shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Oh, oh. Shake it off. Shake it off. Oh, oh. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. All right, back with a new pack. Here we go. How these are cut bad. There are rough edges. That's the Fred McGriff, the Mike Broderick, the Howard Palmer, the Jimmy Key, the Barry Bonds. This is worse than the other Barry Bonds. Okay, we're gonna go like our friend Jabs. We're just gonna rip them all and go through them. This one by one is just too disappointing at this point. I can't handle one by one now. We're gonna work through the rest of these cards, and I have some research to do, folks, and I might only open half this box now because it's really draining me. Really draining me, and we're not going to find any inserts. We're not going to find any autos. Any of that's not going to happen in this set, which isn't a problem. Typically, back in the day, wasn't a big issue. These weren't, hits weren't big things. You collected the sets, you collected the cards. The rookies typically didn't even say rookie card on them sometimes, unless they were touted. An all-star rookie, a future star rookie, a rated rookie. So it wasn't like it is today. And I like today. I like the extras. I like the creativity. And there's our Frank Thomas on the front, and I'm just, boy am I hoping that this is a beautiful card. It looks like most of the edges are cut straight. It is slightly off center. That is going into the good pile. Gary Scott. Yeah, like I'm going to get that many syllables. This looks like a German name, so the double S should be a Z. And so let's see if we can get this. Kirk Dresendorfer. Dresendorfer. There we go. There's a nice David Justice with a bad cut on the right side. And off-centered. The Andre Dawson. Can we get lucky here? Andre Dawson looks actually fairly good. The first thing you shouldn't be looking at on these cards is the condition. You should be celebrating the players. You should be getting excited. And you can't even get excited because you first have to decide if the card is physically worthy in this case. And it's really getting... All right. I am stoked to have a Moises Alou, son of Felipe Alou. Yeah, Moises had some good years. I'm not saying he was a superstar, but I did like Moises, and we can see that this card has a bad cut on the bottom. But I think it might be the only Moises Alou, or the best Moises Alou I'm going to get, so that's probably going to end up in my set. Tino Martinez. There's the Ron Gant Braves. There's the Rock Reigns. Of course, most of us know him as Tim Raines, Rock Reigns. It is cut bad. I want that card in my pile. Hopefully we find a better one. Luis Sojo. Tom Hankey. I already made the snot rag comment, but they're old snot rag. Hey, there we go. We have a clean Ozzie Smith. Just slightly off-centered. There's a nice Ron Heasley, slightly off-centered. There is the Jose Canseco, and we caught a break on this card. Slightly off-centered. Lines are pretty well cut. Looks like the smallest corner issue. I do believe that makes that pile for the time being. Here we have the Steve Decker. Actually nice. Of course, it's one of those cards we don't necessarily need except for the collection, and that one's the nice one. Darwin Lewis. Roger Clemens. O'pee Chee Premier 1991. And this card is good, except there is a bump over here, and that sucks because I don't think I mishandled it yet. I haven't even had a chance to mishandle that card. This Corey Schneider is bad on the bottom. Rene Gonzalez. Here is the great late Tony Gwynn. It's a fairly good card for what we've seen so far. It is slightly off-centered. The Otis Nixon with the rough edge bottom. The Bob Ojed with... I don't know. Off-centered, rough corner. Cecil Fielder. Father of Prince. Fielder, not the musician. And off-centered, rough cut bottom. Yout, rough cut bottom, off-centered, and nicked corner. Here we go. Here's a Kirby Puckett that is... it's not good. Here's the Wade Boggs. I think this is actually a fairly good Wade Boggs. It does have a slight rough edge on this corner, but I don't think we're going to get better. This Cardinals Langford. Ray Langford looks good. Here we go. Here's the big cat, Andres Galarraga. And it actually is fairly nice, and it's probably one of the most well-centered cards we've pulled. There's Willie Wilson of the Oakland Athletics, and the edges are nice. It is fairly off-centered. Probably going to put that in the good pile at this point. This is how low our expectations are now. We have the Juan Bell and Del Murphy. Severely off-centered on the Del Murray, and almost the same amount of off-center for the Juan Bell. But I don't know that we're going to get better. Okay, folks. I don't want to subject you to the next half of this box. So I'm going to cut it there. If we find any nice cards, any highlights, we'll come back. But there's no need to make you watch another 20 minutes of, let's be honest, shitty processing on these cards. There have been severe off-centers. There have been rough edge cuts. And then when you find a card that escapes those two, there's a high chance of packing damage. My heart's broken. Today, baseball broke Ruby. It's supposed to be the other way around. It's not. Today, I'm broken. Let's leave you with some good news. Some good news. Today's going to be a beautiful day, people. Thank you for joining me. And we're going to keep swinging the bat. We're going to step in the batter's box again another day, and we're going to swing for the fences. Today, we definitely got our golden sombrero. We went 0 for... But we're going to put today's game behind us so that we can focus on the future. Here with Ruby Breaks Baseball. If it's not broke, let's break it. And this shit was broken. So I don't know why we broke it. All right. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you made it this far in this episode, God bless you.